Hi guys, and welcome to this video. I hope you're all doing super well. So for today's case, guys, we are going to be going to China, and today's case is another case where two very small children lost their lives needlessly. So again, I just want to put out a disclaimer regarding this because this is quite a sensitive case. So as I said, guys, for today's case we are going to China, particularly an area of China called Chongqing. Okay, so we start with the father called Bo Zhang, and Bo Zhang was married to a lady called Mei Lin, and they decided to have two children together. Now, Bo Zhang, he was bored in his everyday life. You know, he felt like he wasn't living his best married life. And so he decided to explore outside of the marriage and ended up having a kind of like ongoing affair with a lady called Ye Chengchen. And Mei Lin, so Bo Zhang's wife, she had no idea that this affair was going on. It was going on for months and months and months. And I mean, I was going to say the issue. Already it's an issue that he was having an affair. But there was another issue. And that was that Ye Chengchen, so the mistress, right? She wasn't aware that Bo Zhang actually had a wife and kids. He met her. I'm not too sure exactly how they met. If they met online or just in everyday life. But he actually, from the start, didn't tell her, look, I'm married. I've got a wife. I've got kids. And it took a while before he ended up coming out with all this information. And, you know, Ye Chengchen, she didn't react very well. She was pissed. She was like, you know, he didn't tell me this from the start. And from her perspective, she thought, okay, she's in a, you know, one-on-one exclusive relationship with Bo Zhang. Time passes. Mei Lin, you know, she's got sole custody of the children. She's now filed for divorce. She's moved on. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't want to associate herself with her ex-partner husband and this other Ye Chengchen woman. Do you know what I mean? She's doing her own thing with her kids, whatever. However, Mei Lin still allows Bo Zhang to see the kids, you know, like at the weekends and some days of the week and whatever. You know, she's still really civil. Honestly, guys, this woman, considering what this man has done and goes on to do, she is very civil, let me tell you, because this man is all over the shop. He's all over the bloody place, right? So Mei Lin's still like, yeah, you can see the kids when you want. So although she's like got custody of the kids, he's seen them here and there. But all the time he's seen them, this Ye Chengchen, she's still around. They're still continuing their relationship. And the problem is that Ye Chengchen, she's one of these women, she's beyond psychopathic. She's one of these very kind of negative. I mean, it's beyond negative, actually. Like, everything that comes out of her mouth is just full of shit, basically. Like, she starts telling Bo Zhang that, you know, these children, they're an obstacle. The kids are 1 and 2 years old, by the way. And she starts telling him, you know, the children are an obstacle. You know, they're not really helpful in our relationship. Like, do you know what I mean? This is not really what I signed up for. This Ye Chengchen, she's like, I didn't sign up for this, Bo. Do you know what I mean? I thought you were solo. Do you know what I mean? You were on your own. I didn't expect you to have a wife and kids. Now, obviously, Mei Lin has filed for divorce. You know, Bo's happy to go ahead with the divorce. So already at that point, you would think, okay, you know, the mistress now, even though she's come in and she's made a big mess and whatever, she should be content that he's staying with her and he's divorcing from his wife. It's like, what, do you know what I mean? What more do you want? The kids are living with the mother. Do you know what I mean? What do you want from me? My blood or something? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, she starts saying to him, you know, that's not enough. It's not enough that he's filed the divorce. It's not enough that he's left his wife. They're now living together, you know, Ye Chengchen and Bo. That's not good enough for her. She needs more from him. And she starts telling Bo Zhang, look, your children need to be out the picture, and not out the picture like you can't see them again, like out the picture, like not alive, yeah? So she starts telling him, we need to put a murder plan in place. Now, at that point, guys, you would think he is the father of a 1 and 2 year old child. Whatever's gone on with your wife, you don't want to be with her, whatever, that's your business. But I mean, if your new partner starts telling you, we need to kill your 2 toddlers, would you normally not think at that point, guys, wow, this person I'm with is effed up AF. I think I need to get out of this relationship today. And furthermore, probably I should go and do a police deposition at a police station to state that this person is encouraging to perpetrate murder on my 2 children. This is what most people would think, but this is not what happened. Anyway, as we already know, guys, Bo Zhang, he's already all over the bloody shop. He's cheated on his wife for God knows how long. He's divorcing her. He doesn't really, he's neither here nor there with the kids. He sees them, but do you know what I mean? Let's not give him the award for Father of the Year, literally. Do you know what I mean? He is just interested in his mistress, this Ye Chengchen, whatever. So anyway, Ye Chengchen's like, yeah, let's put a murder plan in place to kill your 2 toddlers. Bo Zhang's like, yeah, that's a great idea, Ye Chengchen. Let's put a murder plan in place to kill my 2 kids. These 2 come up with this amazing plan to execute his 2 little toddlers, right? So remember, guys, that I told you that Mei Lin, although she's separated, they're divorcing, whatever, this woman is really civil. She's a really good, kind person, yeah. So she's literally telling Bo Zhang, you can see the kids when you want. She drops them off, picks them up. She keeps it civil, right? Because for her, she always has the best interests of her kids at heart, like most mothers would, right? So he's like, yeah, I want to see the kids, on Thursday, whatever. Can you drop them off, Mei Lin? Mei Lin's like, yeah, no problem. She goes to drop off the kids. Mei Lin's gone off shopping, gone off to see her family, whatever. She's not thinking, beyond that, because this is a usual routine that they've had in place since, they've separated. He sees the kids every few days, whatever. She's like, I'll pick them up in a few hours, blah, blah, blah. As soon as the kids are dropped off, Mei Lin's now gone off to do what she's going to do. They know Mei Lin's not going to be back for like 3-4 hours now, whatever. Ye Chengchen and Bo Zhang decide to execute their murder plan. Now, some people might think, oh, what are they going to do? Did they poison the children? Did they just get a gun and kill the children? What did they do? And all of these things already are bloody horrendous. But no, guys, these people like to think outside of the box. You've got to get on their vibe. You've got to think outside of the box, because remember I told you, this Ye Chengchen, she is off the bloody Richter scale. This woman doesn't think, oh, let's just get some poison. No. We've got to go beyond that, guys, beyond that. So what is her idea? Oh, we're in a 15th story apartment block. Why don't we throw the children out of the window? They don't waste any time, guys. They decide to put their little plan in place. So Bo Zhang, he takes the 2 children, 1 and 2 years old. Now, bear in mind, these children are very small. Of course, they can't even defend themselves. They don't know what's going on. They trust their dad. That's their dad. Do you know what I mean? He picks them up, just throws one out the window, and then throws the other child out the window like you're just putting your laundry out on the landing or something. And this Bo Zhang, he's one of those ones, like guys that do their amateur dramatics. Like, they like to play the game. Do you know what I mean? So Bo Zhang, what does he do? Quickly rushes down those 15, levels. He takes a lift quickly, gets quickly to the ground. Because remember, he's thrown the kids out the window. They're now outside on the ground, dead. So he has to pretend that, oh, it's an accident. It's not a murder case. He gets in the lift, goes down 5 stories, comes outside, even before anyone else is there to see what's happened. And he's like, bent over his children, kneeling, like pretending to grieve, like, oh my God, some accidents happen. My children must have fallen out the window, blah, 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 blah. The sad father who's distressed, etc. And by this point, Mei Lin's been alerted, that her kids have apparently dropped out this 15-story apartment building, and both of them are dead on the ground, right? And apparently the little girl, she died instantly, but the little boy, he was actually still alive. It took a few minutes before he passed. So he, was feeling all of that pain, basically, which is horrendous. So Mei Lin's now been alerted that her children have died. They dropped out the apartment block. And in her mind, initially, she thinks, oh, like some terrible accidents happened. Even though her husband is an absolutely atrocious person, she doesn't think, oh, my husband would kill the children, because he's never displayed to her that although he is an awful person, he's not someone that could, potentially perpetrate murder. Anyway, the police take Bo Zhang and Ye Chengchen for interrogation. And at this point, even though Maylin knows that, you know, Ye Chengchen, do you know what I mean? She's a see you next Tuesday person, whatever. She still doesn't think these, you know, still doesn't think it's beyond an accident what's happened. Obviously, she's grieving. She's in a complete state of distress, but she doesn't think beyond an accident. However, guys, let me tell you, the Chinese police, they know their shit. Listen, they can see through any BS. They don't play that game. So they start interrogating these two, yeah? And then they work out that, yeah, the father's thrown the children out the thing, and that was under the encouragement of Ye Chengchen that was driving this whole murder plan. Luckily, in some cases, not all cases, but in some cases like this, the Chinese government, guys, they go hard. Chinese prosecution, they proper go hard when it's a case of murder. They don't entertain this shit. They literally do not. Where other countries, they'll give you 20 years in prison, 30 years life sentence to appeal with parole after 25 years. Look, Chinese prosecution, they don't do all of that. They're not interested in, you know, giving you options for parole. They don't care. So Chinese prosecution, they went in and they were like, yeah, execution, death sentence for both of them. And when this came out in the news and online, so many people said the punishment literally fits the crime. This case happened around 2020. By the time they were executed, it was around, I believe, 2023 or start of 2024. So they were held in prison, but it was to be executed. And in China, there are still a huge amount of executions. It's actually said that China has the highest amount of executions in the world. I think some people think that other countries have got more executions, like often people will hear about Saudi Arabia, that they still do executions, etc. But actually, it's China that holds the highest number of executions annually and just generally across the board. Because China, guys, as I said, Chinese government and prosecution, they do not play around. And they keep their figures secret as well. They don't reveal how many people have generally been executed. People kind of, you know, have an idea, but there's no fixed set figures. But yeah, in this case, prosecution was like, no, time for execution. Now, honestly, guys, this is another case where two little children needlessly lost their lives. And the mother of these kids, the shit that she's gone through, her husband has got with some next level woman who's off her head on God knows what. She's then lost her two children through their murder because the mistress has now encouraged the murder of the two. I mean, honestly, like, how as a mother do you then continue with your life after experience? Like, honestly, it's just beyond belief. When it comes to extramarital affairs, guys, you get literally two types of women. You get the ones that, you know, in the case, I want to say an example of when the woman didn't know that the man was married, okay? So you get two types of women. The one that, okay, discovers he's now married or with kids and decides, oh, that's not for me. I'm checking out now. Do you know what I mean? This is not my vibe. And also, as a woman yourself, you may think, okay, yeah, I wouldn't want this to happen to me as a woman, so I'm stepping out. You know, let me put a stop to this. And then you get that second type of woman, which is like, oh, yeah, he's married with kids. Right, that don't work for me, but I want him. So I'm going to tell him to leave his wife and kids and live my best life. And it's like, okay, but if you were that wife with the kids, would you want that to happen to you? Like, you need to put your place yourself in the place of that woman. So you get really, guys, those two types of women. One is very devious and the other one is like, I didn't know this shit was going on or happening to me or this wife, but let me check out because that's not my vibe, yeah? And this is really what you get when people have extramarital affairs, especially where you've got children involved. However, in the case where you date someone who's got kids or actually very small children and that's not your vibe, you don't want to deal with that, then okay, separate from the guy and keep it pushing, keep it moving. It's very simple. It's not, I want to be with this guy, but yeah, I'm going to encourage him to kill his children because, do you know what I mean? That don't really fit in with my routine and my lifestyle and my vibe right now. Like, I mean, in my mind, guys, I'm like, how can someone go from, I don't really want to date a guy because to, let's just kill his children. It's like, 0 to not even 100 to like 1 million at the other end of the spectrum. Anyway, guys, that was the case of Bo Zhang. Please leave your thoughts and comments below on what your viewpoints, opinions are of this. Do you think that Bo Zhang and Ye Chengchen deserved the death sentence for what they did? Do you think they should have just got life imprisonment or 30 years in prison? Please leave your thoughts below. In my opinion, guys, you know, I've never been an advocate for a death sentence, but when it comes to the torture or murder of children, honestly, I do believe the perpetrators deserve the death sentence because, yeah, it's just, I can't conceive that these are things that are acceptable whatsoever. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, guys, I will leave this video here and I will see you again very, very soon for another one.